Nerds are winning, parents are winning, schools are winning, all regular folk who have found themselves under the boot of woke DEI agenda-driven nonsense are winning. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and I'm gonna need you guys to share this one out because odds are it's gonna get majorly shadow banned, demonetized, whatever it may be, because Blackrock CEO melts down as profits plummet over woke ESG agenda. And I got a lot of sources to back this up, but this is one of those things where, let's be real, YouTube's not gonna be happy we're talking about this, but this is absolute proof that the real world is rejecting DEI, rejecting ESG, rejecting overall woke culture that is just being drowned out by those that have the money, and we are here to fight against it. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, and while this is not particularly a nerdy subject in the context of video games, comic books, the whole nine, it absolutely affects nerd culture, as we know that Blackrock, Vanguard, Raytheon, all these investment firms are absolutely entrenched in video games, in comic books, and have been swaying the media and the people, and of course the actual content of the media we consume for years now. So let's get into this. Blackrock CEO melts down as profits plumber over woke ESG agenda. Also, there's a whole lot more than just this article, so stick with me on it. Also, by the way, this comes from Slay Media, who I've never heard of before, but I decided to take a little check by MediaBiasFactCheck.com, and it has Slay Media listed as a far-right extreme with very low credibility, which, again, I'd never heard of them, so maybe, not sure. But if we take a look at allsides.com, Media Bias, Media Bias doesn't even know who they are. Media Bias has never heard of them. So, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and roll with this because there's a whole lot more sources to back this up other than this one article. Blackrock CEO Larry Fink suffered a meltdown during an earnings call over the company losing billions of dollars in contracts to the International Assessment Manager's woke environmental, social, and governance (ESG) agenda. A recording from the call has emerged online and revealed that Fink imploded while raging over the Texas Board of Education, canceling $8.5 billion in contracts with Blackrock. Texas is stepping it up. They are saying, we do not want this in our schools. We do not want your woke, agenda-driven ESG liberal politics and policies in our school. We don't want your damn blood money. And it says that he released all this information on a call. We've got a recording of that call. We're going to listen to the recording of that call. But first, as Slay News reported, Texas joined several states in blocking their funds from going to Blackrock due to the company's ESG agenda. Now, I didn't do too much research on what other states have blocked the ESG stuff coming from Blackrock. I do know Mississippi is one of them as well, because that came up when I was doing, trying to get some more information on this. During the call, Fink lost his cool as he complained about lies and misinformation regarding Blackrock's agenda. There's been no lies. There's been no misinformation. You got caught. You got caught, and now you got to claim that we are lying. You got to claim that we're trying to get misinformation, because the moment people stop funding you, the moment the money dries up, you lose all your power. You lose all your control. The moment that normal people wake up, again, whether it be us in nerd culture who are fighting to get this crap out of video games, or regular parents that just want to be able to trust sending their children to public schools, the moment normal people get woken up, the actual legitimate version of woke, ironically enough, that's when it all falls apart. We have done a better job now of telling our stories so that people can make decisions based on facts, not on lies, and not on misinformation or politicization by others, Fink said during a first quarter earnings call. Unfortunately, there's still others out there who continuously lie about these issues. It's interesting he says that others that lie about these issues, when we every single time fact check and show our sources in every instance. In fact, we've got a video coming up that I'll happily show you guys of him openly talking about his left-leaning agenda and the way he wants to force the world to his point of view, his worldview. But first, let's actually listen to the call. Let's listen to the phone call that has the leaked audio.
I've spoken before about the fear we see today. Some of it stoked by increasingly political polarization in the world. Our industry and Blackrock have been a subject of political dialogue, mostly in the United States.
Yes, you're right. There's the only bit of honesty you're going to get from him in this first 17 seconds. You have been the subject of political dialogue. But you want to know why you've been the subject of political dialogue? Because you've been infesting the culture with your left-leaning politics that nobody asked for. You've been dumping tons, billions upon billions of dollars, nay, I say possibly even trillions of dollars, into forcing left-leaning politics into every aspect of any sort of cultural and artistic endeavor. So you're right. That does merit a bit of a political response from individuals of all walks of life. Again, regardless of whether we're talking about sports or video games or schooling, insert anything that you go through on a regular day-to-day life. I mean, they own stock at this point in Games Workshop. What in God's green earth does Blackrock need to do with the tabletop gaming world of a Warhammer 40k? But they own stock in it. I'll show you guys some proof after that, but let's continue.
We recognize some of this with being the industry leader. We have done a better job now of telling our story so that people can make decisions based on facts.
Really? You've done a better job of telling your story? Then if you've done such a good job of telling your story, i.e. spinning your lies, spinning a web of lies, then why did you just lose an $8.5 billion contract with the state of Texas? You know what? You have done a remarkable job telling your story. You got too brazen. You got too open. You thought, you know what? At this point, we are too big to fail. We've infested everything. May as well let our agenda be known, and now people are rejecting it. So you know what? Maybe you're actually onto something there, but congratulations, you played yourself.
Not on lies and not on misinformation or politicization by others. Unfortunately, there's still others out there who put short-term politics, who continuously lie about these issues. They're putting those issues above the long-term fiduciary responsibilities.
Now, notice how he says that. Short-term politics and the long-term fiduciary responsibilities. These are not short-term politics. We've seen them, they've been playing this game for the long run. These are not short-term politics. We absolutely want to get this out of politics. We want to get this blood money out of politics for the long term so that we don't return or that we don't continue engaging in the route we've been going down for the last decade, at the very least last decade. That's the last decade of it being public. Who knows how much of it was going on in the shadows before then, before anybody ever really caught on to what was going on. So I wouldn't call it short-term whatsoever, but again, this is a snake oil salesman giving you weaselly words to make himself sound like a fucking victim, because that's how these leftists always act. They've got a victimhood complex.
As a fiduciary, politics should never outweigh performance. I do believe that with a vast majority of our clients, our long-term fiduciary approach and performance are resonating.
Really? You think they're resonating? That's interesting. Then explain to me why Get Woke Go Broke actually even became a term after we saw Hollywood. Again, very much, Blackrock's put a whole lot of money into Hollywood because, again, politics is downstream from culture and they want to control the culture. So if this has been working, if your clients have been so happy with it, then explain to me the multi-millions and billions of dollars lost year over year, the last half decade at least, last, let's say, 3 years to be a conservative. Let's not count the COVID stuff. We can't blame Blackrock for that. But the last 3 years, ever since stuff opened back up, all of a sudden, we're seeing movie after movie flop at the box office. Movies that you've invested all this DEI and ESG money and worse than that ideology into, and now we're seeing it in video games. We're seeing we're seeing 18,000 layoffs in 15 months. Again, always seems to be coming from Western studios that you have heavily put money into. Now we see Japanese studios who took your ESG money, who took the Blackrock money, and now they are throwing it out the water. They don't want anything to do with it. We saw that Sega and Capcom and Koei Tecmo and Konami all took the money, and then the money is already drying up, and they're not taking any more. So tell me, how has this actually been working out? Again, snake oil salesman at its finest. But hold on. If that's not good enough for you, if you're like, well, he hasn't said anything truly left-wing yet, he hasn't actually said they have an agenda, well then I direct you to this little interview from 2017 where the CEO, again, Larry Fink, the CEO of Blackrock, openly acknowledges that they want to force a left-leaning ESG, DEI-driven agenda into your into your lifestyle without you having any sort of say in it. And for all those individuals on X, DEI is the new woke. I had never heard of this DEI term before, when I explicitly have been telling people the DEI has been a corporate term for at least 5 years. Again, this video is from 2017. That is 7 years ago. So we were seeing the term DEI 7 years ago.
It's just, you have to force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted. And that's not recruiting, it is development, as Ken said.
How do you force change, though? I mean, Larry, Blackrock has really...
That's a very interesting question. How do you force change, since you've already acknowledged you want to force change? Force is a very important word that he just used right there.
on the forefront of the ESG movement within corporate governance and a real leader, and yet change is so slow. So what is, and Ken as well, how do you force change when it is so incremental and so gradual? How do you do something more radical? Have you thought about that? Has the board of American Express thought about more radical things we could do to enhance diversity and inclusion?
Boom, right there, to enhance diversity and inclusion. This video is from 2017, guys.
It has to be imbued in the culture of a firm. It has to be talked about. It has to be shown. Behaviors across the entire firm in every region have to be similar. And every citizen of the...
Have to be similar? Now that sounds like a whole lot of homogenization of industry and ideology to me, but of course, homogenization, that's never done anything to cripple industry and cripple capitalism going forward, to destroy governments going forward. Nah, homogenization's a great thing.
Firm has to understand what is acceptable behaviors and what are unacceptable behaviors.
And they get to be the arbiters of what is the unacceptable and the acceptable behaviors. And you wonder why I'm bringing this up. You wonder why I say at the beginning of this video is going to be shadow banned, it's going to be demonetized. So many of you aren't even going to see it. Well, this happened to my boy Hypno last night when he was doing his Hypnocast. Check this out.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, they're doing... Oh, see, look. Dude, that's so weird. That's so weird. I literally took Blackrock off the screen and we just bumped up from 180 viewers to 240. Did you guys notice that?
Now, for those who don't know, my boy Hypnotic regularly gets easily 500 viewers on average, with some of the shows, one of the solo shows, going as high as 1,300 viewers. Homeboy was talking about Blackrock, and he was sitting at 180 viewers. That is pitiful numbers. Dude has over 30,000 subscribers. I've got 3,000, and I regularly on my solo streams hit over 100. I usually hit about 300 viewers easy on my stream, and all of a sudden, homie that is literally 10 times larger than me only has 180 viewers when talking about Blackrock, takes Blackrock off his screen, and his viewership jumps by almost 100 new viewers, as if now that he's done talking about the big scary boogeyman that is Blackrock and DEI, that is very entrenched in YouTube, by the way, and very entrenched in Google. Now that he's done talking about them, hey, YouTube's free to push out the notifications to all the viewers that just missed crucial, critical information.
Bro, tell me I'm not bugging. Tell me I'm not there's no way. There is no fucking way. Did you guys just see that? What the fuck? There is no way. Oh, I'm totally posting this on fucking Twitter. Thank you so much.
Boom, right there. And now, I will say, to give context, because if you were watching, the top chat messages number didn't change. That's because Smash JT, the individual who posted this on Hypnotic's behalf, note, I had to rewind it to record so the viewers don't reflect, but it happened. We all witnessed it live, never seen anything like it before. There are several other individuals stating how they saw this live, and yeah, of course he had to rewind it. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody thought maybe it was a slow night for Hypnotic, even though that absolutely never happens. But then we've got the issue going on with the Games Workshop and the Warhammer 40K going on. Well, if you take a look at this is their stock after just 24 hours. Ever since the very apparent and open e.s.g changes and DEI changes happened in front of our very eyes, look at what happened to their stock. That is a suicide drop right there. Well, of course, shareholder statistics, BlackRock and Vanguard Group, I'd be willing to bet we scroll down, maybe Raytheon's gonna be there too, who knows? Yeah, everybody, this is absolutely amazing. Like, obviously, there's much to be concerned about, because at this point, they are getting desperate. When Homeboy is crying on a sales call or on an earnings call about an $8.5 billion contract being lost, and we know that this is not the only contract being lost whatsoever. Things are not going the way that they want for the DEI woke agenda, investment firms that are trying to control your lives, are trying to alter the very fabric of our community, of our American society. They are losing. But because they're losing, that's when folks get desperate. And when they get desperate, they throw out all sorts of Hail Marys. So it makes you wonder, what are they going to do next? Are you even going to see this video? I know I sound awful conspiratorial, which is not my usual bag. You got your whole tinfoil hat homie Leon right now. But this is genuinely frightening, because while this is a W, should we be celebrating this W? Because it might lead to something even more radical. And I really hope you guys see this because I want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at Bolt the Word. And please do subscribe. I'm a nerdy news channel. I bring you nerdy news every day. And again, while this one wasn't necessarily nerdy, we know that BlackRock, Vanguard, Raytheon have been investing in nerd culture because nerd culture is the most mainstream it has ever been, and that is how you brainwash the masses. So hit that subscribe button. Check me out on Instagram at worldsofparadise_Leon. Become a member for $4.99 a month because the memberships help me be able to continue to do this, especially given the shadow banning I'm probably about to go through for this. So $4.99, become a member, join the Discord. You get to choose the videos you want me to react to on my live streams, choose the articles you want me to cover on the day-to-day basis, and of course join the large, bustling, Vital Idol community member. We are now over 60 members strong, and it's only getting better week after week. So by all means, also use discount code Vital Idol. Get yourself some money off a shirt or a mug, whatever merch you want. We do not take investment money from BlackRock or Raytheon or anything to that effect. And remember, until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere, and this has been Words of Paradise.